It's hard not to love a donut, and although they did not originate here in the US, we have an entire national day to celebrate them. What do we have in the box? What's the weirdest donut you got?
A glazed crondie.
What do you love about donuts?
Well, just being a chubby guy, every day is National Donut Day.
Why limit it to one day? Let's celebrate all year long. As you can see behind me, demonstrators have gathered. They've erected a tent right outside Ted Lieu's office doors. Today, I am taking you courtside to the Professional Pickleball Association Skechers Invitational Summer Championships, right here in the Pacific Palisades at the Riviera Country Club. We are out here for the annual Venice Beach sign lighting. This is year number 11, and we're learning a little bit about the history of the event, and we're just enjoying ourselves out here in Venice, ringing in the holiday season. What are some tips on how to choose the best Christmas tree? There's so many options.
Ooh, Troop has 75 scouts.
75 scouts, 75 years.
Yep, got it right. We got one every year.
It's a new year, a new you, and maybe the new you is a rock star. To help bring out your inner star, School of Rock has programs for all ages to help bring your dreams to reality. 8,000 square feet of pristine ice and unlimited adventure awaits in downtown Santa Monica at this year's ICE. Brought to you by the city, we are out here hitting the rink, trying our best not to fall down. It is a lot harder than it looks. Let's go. Andre Butler marks the second veteran this year to be killed at the homeless encampment of veterans along San Vicente Boulevard, which is located just outside the gates of the VA. Driving on Santa Monica Boulevard here in West LA can be treacherous, and as you can see behind me, a multiple vehicle crash just occurred. We are out here at LA Fashion Week 2022. All right, I'm feeling centered now. I don't see any other unicorns here. Maybe we can braid them together later. That might be kind of fun. What do you think really sets LA Fashion Week apart from the other fashion weeks around the world?
Diversity.
Losing a child to cancer is an unthinkable tragedy. But through that loss, one remarkable mother is dedicating her child's legacy to help others in their fight against cancer.
Sophia was a very bright and vivacious child. She loved to learn and she loved to swim.
At the age of 2, Sophia was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma. And during these countless days and nights at the hospital, Sandra got to know the nurses.
Sophia's nurses were talking about this triathlon and how all the money they raised was going to pediatric cancer research at Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
Over the course of 2 years, Sophia received 6 rounds of chemotherapy, tumor recession, high-dose chemotherapy, a stem cell transplant, 20 days of radiation, and 6 cycles of immunotherapy.
These are Sophia's beads of courage. Each bead represents her experience. The black ones are pokes, the yellow ones are chemo, red ones are blood transfusions. And then these right here were her favorite, and they're pretty cool. They glow in the dark, and those were beads that she got from radiation.
After years of treatment, Sophia was declared to have no evidence of disease, and her mother decided to participate in the triathlon.
A year later, I did my first triathlon, and I did the sprint, and Sophia ran across the finish line with me. A few days later, she was diagnosed with relapse neuroblastoma, and just a few months later, she passed away.
Less than 5% of federally funded cancer research goes towards research for children's cancers. Fundraising organizations like Sophia's Buddies are crucial in helping to find a cure.
Pediatric cancer research is really underfunded. Without events like this, the funding really wouldn't be there to be able to help families have a higher chance of survival. Doing a triathlon's hard, but doing chemo is also hard. And that's what I keep in mind the whole time I do it, is if Sophia could do what she did, I can do this.
Sophia's Buddies have participated in over 8 Malibu marathons, raising over $500,000 to directly support pediatric cancer research. There is a new rising star on the forefront of fashion and inclusion. 18-year-old Tammy Eugenio Ferreira. Last year, Tammy became the first ever runway model with cerebral palsy to grace the stage at LA Fashion Week. Fashion is a tough industry, but Tammy isn't letting anything stand in her way, and she's here to tell you herself.
I have a passion for fashion. By the way, I have several proposals. So what?
Tammy's irresistible charm and spicy attitude caught the eye of streetwear designer Nicholas Mayfield, and since her debut in his 2021 runway show, they have become close friends. What was the most exciting part of walking in his show last year?
Everything.
Everything?
I'm happy to be here. Smiling for you.
Tammy and Mayfield returned to LA Fashion Week this year with vibrant energy and a new custom outfit designed by Nicholas Mayfield and inspired by Tammy herself. You are rocking this look!
I want to do all eyes on me, so I put all eyes on her.
What's your favorite part about it? Yeah, that he does it?
I love the hat.
It's so good. Oh, and the jacket? Oh, that's so cool! I can tell you're a fashionista.
I am.
It's clear that Mayfield and Tammy share a love of fashion and a wonderful friendship that goes beyond the designs.
Yo, it's just God moves, so here we are.
Success did not come easy. Tammy has had to work hard to get where she is today, defying doctors' diagnosis that she would never walk, talk, or sit. Tammy has spent countless hours in therapy and continues to break barriers with her ceaseless determination and dedication to her goals. She is currently pursuing her dreams in fashion, getting a higher education, and even learning to drive. And this is just the beginning of Tammy's journey. I cannot wait to see you out there on the runway again.
Thank you. I'm coming back.
Yes! Andre Butler marks the second veteran this year to be killed at the homeless encampment of veterans along San Vicente Boulevard, which is located just outside the gates of the VA. Today, we talk with Rob Reynolds, who is with AM Vets, about what is needed right now to help get our men and women of service off the streets.
Andre Butler was a Marine veteran. He's kind of a fixture around the West LA VA for years. I think he was only here for a few days before this whole incident happened. And I'm gonna miss Andre a lot. Andre's death marks the second out here this year. When veterans arrive here to get services, the issue is there's a consistent lack of same-day services. And what I mean by that is, if someone were to show up today and they were asking for help, the first thing we would have to do is we'd have to send them over to building 402. You know, a lot of people that show up here, a lot of the veterans that show up here are injured. They're in wheelchairs, walkers, or they have mental health issues, PTSD. The VA is not providing any transportation. This campus is huge. And we keep asking the VA to at least send a shuttle over or something.
The West LA VA campus spans 388 acres in total. For reference, Disneyland is only 100 acres. Veterans seeking services and housing must walk from the Eisenhower Gate to Building 402, which is a 2-mile round trip. It took me around 40 minutes to walk there and back.
Then they have to go to Building 500 and get a COVID test. Then they have to wait for the results to come back in. And the admissions for the inside encampment normally closes between 2:30 and 3 p.m. So a lot of times they never make it within that first day. They're asked to leave the property and come back the following day, and they're not registered in a program. By the time night falls, the VA police are going to tell them to leave. And that's when they come out to the sidewalk. And then we have to go through this whole thing of getting them in again. If you don't have consistent same-day services, if you're not taking them in when they're asking for help, this is what happens. I mean, one of the things we asked a year ago was for the VA to put up some signs. I mean, just signs inside to direct these guys where to go. There's like a lot of simple fixes that can be done just to, at least cut the encampment in half.
When we reached out to the VA for comment, they provided this written statement.
This has been a soldier's home for 133 years. There's been veterans from every conflict since the Civil War that have come here. They will always come here. And that's why it's important that we get this fixed. It's time for action. No one wants these guys on the sidewalk. What goes on here is not the same at every other VA. It's very specific to this location. There's been a lot of promises to build housing that have never come to fruition at all. Years and years of promises and promises and promises, and nothing's happened.
It was just a vacant lot. There were cars parked on it. It has been year after year, layers of love fed right into this soil. It really is a vibrant, living testament to what you can do when you give the soil a little bit of love and input from the community.
Upward Bound House is helping our unhoused neighbors reconnect with food and where it comes from with their incredible urban farm right here in the heart of Santa Monica. And today, we're going inside.
When you walk onto this urban farm, you are transported into an urban oasis. It's very much in the middle of the city. There's construction, it's busy, it's loud, there's cars. When you cross through the threshold of the gate, your body recognizes the connection with nature. Your blood pressure lowers, you tend to move more slowly. You become so curious about everything growing around you. There's blossoms, there's food, there's animals, there's insects. It's just full of life.
The Upward Bound House Urban Garden sits on 8,000 square feet of land just off of Santa Monica Boulevard. The project began a little over 6 years ago as a partnership between Roque and Mark Real Estate, urban farmer Courtney Guerrera, and Upward Bound House, an organization dedicated to ending family homelessness.
We know that homelessness is a very traumatic experience. Most of the times, just being homeless makes you a completely different person. And the Health and Wellness Program has really helped us addressing what is homelessness doing to the family unit. In creating this space, we found that it was amazing as a respite for kids.
Everything's so quiet and peaceful. That's why I like it. It makes me very happy when I come in.
It's a therapeutic space. We have kids who walk in here and they pick up the bunnies and they just hold them to their heart, feeling still. And especially on the heels of the pandemic, it's now filling a gap greater than we'd ever dreamt about.
Pretty much everything that you see here is here because of the community support. Each row is planted with a lot of love. It looks a little crazy at times, but that's just because of the hands that planted it are normally kids and volunteers. Opening up the earth and allowing people to just touch the soil has been a radical act of defiance in a city.
The land was donated by private developers, and although you might think that developers and green spaces are total opposites, Roque and Mark see it differently.
We feel there's a synergy that business and charity and green spaces and developers can actually coalesce. It just takes creative thinking and can benefit all of those groups equally.